To do this again. I thought it was recording, so I have to do it again. So, um, I guess I'll start over. Um, so in the beginning, let's see. So at the apartment, I remember being like going crazy on Twitter. It says "Bird is free," playing live bootleg music, going live on Twitter to no one, posting about Neuralink, adding celebrities with Neuralink, talking about Neuralink. And then I talked about crypto and Elizabeth Warren and Mr. Wonderful and C-SPAN, and then I ended up coming to the house after being evicted, losing the job, and then there's a recording, and then I would make recordings, and so this is why I think I had the implant at the apartment, is because I'd make recordings in at the house, and they'd be like, wow, I really should copy this link, and I should really go to this next page where this link is. But it when I was recording it, it didn't sound like that. But when I was listening to it, not recently, but some time ago, you could hear like more words were heavily like I don't know how you say it, like cued or something. So I don't know what that's about. I don't know if that's delusion or not, but I remember that and being like, oh, that's kind of weird. Like I hear voices, and I'm listening to this. This like, are they trying to say something through me? So then through me to me, and when I think about even the concept of that, I get so mad. If that's true, it's such a bad idea. But yeah. Then I remember, like, I think people wanting me to get off of there or something on off of Twitter, and or people, I guess, like sort of, I don't know. I can't tell anymore. I'm not good with that. I'm not a room reader, especially when things aren't direct. I'm not very direct. I mean, I am direct. I'm not very like. I don't pick up on what. I'm not good at. Yeah. All right. Just so then. Yeah. So then I was. Let's see. It says playing "We Are the World" on loop for no one. People trying to get me off of Twitter. It felt like for some reason, the "for you," really feeling for you in a specific way. Not sure if I heard voices then potentially had implant stable. It's like a like it got ramped up or something. It says bug bite 5523 went to ER advent due to small lump on left side of leg. When I pressed on it caused dizziness. Could be nothing. When leaving hospital there was also a man that also was there for a bug bite, which was like suspicious. Um, so then sold the car. Oh, then basically was doing the whole like I then the power would go out, and I remember that with this, and wanting to post Neil deGrasse Tyson, a video of him, and about the government and how the space budget, and how I was like right about to post it, and then all the power shut off. But I had the hotspot, so I was still able to like. I don't know, I felt like they were. I don't know. I felt like I was being fucked with all the time. So then I was going crazy here, and Yeah. I don't know if they all knew that or not, but hmm. Can't go back, can you? So then, sold the car. Then I went to Boca. Or no, I remember being in the airport, walking around with my phone and looking at like this. It was like early in the morning or something, or saying Elon say something about his birthday being 30 plus something, or I don't know. I don't know. And then went to Boca. Oh, I just got jolted on the right. Went to Boca. Then ended up being stranded there. And then I remember and then I went to Corpus Christi. Oh no, so I was in Boca, then used a hotel, and then I have this in here where it says this here. But okay, hold on. I remember I didn't hear voices, but then I do remember being in the hotel there in Brownsville, Texas, and on the TV was Jordan's documentary was playing, and they would say, "Look at the TV. This is the only way we'll communicate with you." They told me. They told me to look at the smoke detector at certain times when it would flash erratically. Like I'd be like a TV, like, "Robert, look at the smoke detector." I look and be like, and like, "Oh, Robert, look out the window," and there'd be a bird fly right by, stuff like shit like this, stuff like that, and it's like stuff like that. And so this is the only way we'll communicate with you. And it's like a clip of Jordan. It was like they were trying to make a point that Jordan didn't hang out with people off of the court or something. And I think that's what they were trying to say is like, they'll never meet me in real life. Or that's what like they were literally saying like here. So, and I found that I was kind of I remember thinking about that like, that's fucking weird. Why the fuck would you do that? Like, why is somebody in my head telling me we'll never meet in person? Like, the fuck? But of course, I didn't think it was much. I thought I was just hearing some. I was like, at this moment, I was like, anyways. So then, timing their voice with physical things, pretty heavy shit to start. And then I remember I got on the bus, and this was, let's see, 7-3. Yeah. So then I took the bus, and that was so weird. Taking the bus, it felt like people were following me all the time. Oh wait, so I'm messing up the story. From Boca to Corpus Christi, because I'm like, oh fuck it, whatever, what's in Corpus Christi, maybe I'll live somewhere or something. And then I was sleeping on the beach there, and it had the steps like this. I was sleeping on the steps, and there's the beach. And then there was a building over here, and I was over here. And I could have swore there was like sound coming from like they were like that's when I was hearing them a lot. So this was after the TV experience, I think. And then there was a homeless guy, and I remember tweeting to Elon about. I'd always tweet. I'd tweet at Elon, and then somebody would show up. So I was like, "Can you pick me up or something?" Stranded at, you know, and then somebody would show up randomly. It'd be so strange. And that's when that guy showed up, and yeah, and he was like 12 monkeying it, the monkeys over here, this whole thing. He was like doing kung fu in the sand and stuff, and talking to himself and hearing voices. It was like he was supposed to be a cue for me to acknowledge that I was hearing a voice or something. That's pretty interesting, that. But yeah, I felt like they were in this hotel thing. There's always a helicopter going because there's a hospital right over here or something at the Corpus Christi. And yeah, I remember hearing like, is there somebody's talking to me over here. They're like, oh, he doesn't even hear us. He doesn't even see us. He's not even paying attention to us. Like, it was like this sort of voice like this. And I'd be like, what the fuck? And I'd be like, fuck you, or something. And, yeah. Weird times. Yeah, I felt like they were over there on like a balcony I couldn't see or something, or in a room I couldn't see. I felt like I was on like some punt or something. And so, uh, so, so then I was, then it was, then I went back to Brownsville, and then it was the 4th of July. Or it was the weekend or something of the 4th of July. And then I came back, and then I was doing music, or I was doing this stuff. It was Love at the Core. And I was doing music, and I could hear them. Like, oh, they were more positive then, I think, the voices. And I get like this stuff here. And I guess this is September. So then you get September. But then you get this. Where it says this. It says, when I got back from there, things were worse. I was not listening to them, and this seemed to upset them. When I look back at the DM sent to myself, I read, I keep hearing more negativity in my head while on X. If I don't like this or that, it's weird. August 28, 2023, 1 p.m., 101. August 28th, 2023, 6:16 p.m. The voices are getting increasingly more hostile every time I insult tech. One even said that I live on Gov assistance and so on. The old arguments. I have no idea where the other voices come from. I know technically ESP may be real, but my heart is leading towards the simulation. Then I said August 30th, 2023, 9:38 p.m. Voices are getting more hostile. I could have sworn the sim made me throw up and said next time it would be your heart. So, after reading this and more, it seems I was under the impression this was a simulation, but I'm not sure if that is the case anymore. It feels as though a human is doing this. These voices, they were very new to me. This madness caused me to bike down to the Walmart liquor, buy 4 vodka shots, drink them, and call the suicide hotline to ask if they had a place for people to get medicine for hearing voices. I was not suicidal. down, but I couldn't do it. Got into a thing with the security guard there, stayed 3 days, got my blood drawn. I did get an MRI, and I remember a stinging feeling in my head. Got moved to a mental rehab where there was 3 days or so I felt pressure on my heart when I was there. Right here. I still feel it. When I go too far with stuff, they shut. It's like right here. It's kind of sore. Yeah. Huh. And sometimes it happens over here too. But so then yeah. So when I go too far with stuff, if they really want to fuck with me, they'll do something with the heart. It's like I had that one dream about when I was talking about this. I had that dream with it's like at a pizza place, and they were like, I was drifting off, and it felt like they flipped my heart over 50 times, and like were torturing me, and I was like, okay, 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 yeah, and I woke up. That was weird. Um, got moved to mental rehab there for 3 days. So I felt pressure on my head felt pressure on my heart when I was there. Things were strange there, almost planned. Next to me was another patient and a nurse watching some Marvel movie with a doctor that transformed himself. I saw that and thought that was odd. While I was there, I got out of there. There's another time at the same hospital. And I remember on the walls there's like, don't think this or watch your thoughts or something. And I thought that was kind of strange. But maybe that's just how that mental hospital was. Like outside there's like written like a bunch of graffiti, and it was all like this. I got out of there. There's another time at the same hospital. I cannot recall if it was before or after this incident. But the nurse took the blood from the top of my hand vein. And he kept missing the vein. And would say, I got it wrong. And then my left foot, what I would learn to call a jolt, ended up, it would jolt. So that was like really fucking weird. I ended up leaving early in the morning, discharging myself, doing what the patient did next to me, just leaving. Come to think of it, he had a Jordan jersey on. This may just be a coincidence now, thinking about this. Also, before I got admitted for the MRI, which I bailed on, like I said earlier that morning, there was a kind nurse who asked me before if she wanted me to stay the night, asking about if I had any implants, but the way she kind of said it was strange or repeated. With all of that, I headed home. The jolts were now happening on the screen in front on Twitter, as if they were communicating to me. Fast forward to today, there is much pressure. I get jolted with dialogue in my head. This is not a story of fiction nor a non-fictional novel. This is what my life is and has been like. It as is. I have an illegal implant and am a hostage to this implant and have a constant viewer. I have talked about the experience of such things on Mirror XYZ YouTube and the Vivian the name. So that's that there. I think that's a pretty good timeline. Trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, then there's the check mark, right? Let's see this here. Today I was calling a neurological terrorist, and I said for probably about 30 minutes or more, I was laying in bed repeating the phrases saying, I am a American hostage to an American terrorist organization. And I just kept saying that over and over and over as and they would jolt me, get jolted, or shocked, or whatever you want to call it. It's a weird feeling, you know. It's like you don't feel like you have any control over anything. Like somebody's inside your body and brain. And now I'm getting the heart thing, the feeling. But it's a horrible feeling. It's horrible. I can go. I guess I go back. I'll tell all that stuff about. I don't know who the fuck pisses me off. I don't know who the hell decided to implant somebody. I don't know how you ethically say to yourself that you're gonna implant somebody and take that risk. I don't know how the fuck you do that. So irresponsible and horrible. Horrible thing. So with that, I won't harp on it too much, but so fucking fucked up. I don't get who would do such a thing like that. I just got jolted on the right. So this is a bunch of stuff here. But this is what we want to look for here. So then, and then I noticed this. I didn't notice this till later. Oh. I didn't notice this till later. Till July 2024, where you're supposed to have on Twitter, it says, it'll say joined and then it'll say verify if you have a check. Like it'll look like this. Verified since October 12th. And then it'll have joined. But for some reason, we have me and Noland just have this. It doesn't say any verified since or something. See? So there's a side by side of the iOS. So, and then I don't have that there anymore. They removed it. Here's the web version, I guess. The screenshots to prove that they're not like edited or something. Like I didn't add a check mark there or something. You see, there it says screenshots. And the check mark I removed. And there's this. Just super casual about it, I guess. Then, yeah, I guess so. Then fast forward to today. So then there's this, and then here's like all of my stuff, like everything that I've ever made. I think there is or more stuff, you know. There's everything there. Here's all the different Twitters and stuff. And then there is, and this is a good one here, but then here's another one. This is a different drive, but this is just text documents, and this is the one I use now. You get to this with the reply for this one. Okay, and then you yeah, my whole brain has been, I won't go too into it, I guess. But here's like a example if you wanted to read this. It pulls up pretty nicely on this, like, I don't know, this kind of format here. And then this is really good, actually. It's kind of scary how different these two read. Taylor Swift decided to implant someone because they were a jerk. Taylor Swift decided to have a hostage because they were a jerk. So, I don't know if that reads different to you, but it reads different to me. You should never have an implant hostage, ever, ever, ever. Never, there's no reason to. And I got a bunch of other stuff on here, I guess. Angry. I'm still angry. I don't know how you do that to somebody. I don't know how the fuck you, like, how unethical do you, how do you actually cross that line and say, I'm going to implant this person, and then deny it when they find out? Like, I don't know. They keep saying they have to turn themselves in or turn it off or something, but they don't. And I feel like you should. And I feel like I feel like it's setting a standard for the reality. Like, so then whoever you are, you can just do whatever the hell you want to do, and implant people and just get away with it. So that's fine. Well, it's not fine, but you know what I mean. So, I was just watching his thing again. This one's good here. I signed this and I mean this. Okay, I gotta create a counter. This is true. Try to be as transparent as I can. I try to be, at least. So whoever's done this has everyone bought. But yeah, it's basically up to the people. Like, they're not going to turn themselves in. If it's a celebrity or something, they're not, or a person of power, they're not going to turn themselves in. That's just not going to happen. They rather live their wonderful, wealthy life, you know, versus going to prison for for a war crime, basically. Like, it's a really big deal, that. But then whoever it is, maybe will get pardoned by Trump or something, who knows. But I think that shouldn't even be a reason. Like, it's like, if they go to prison or something for this sort of thing, they should. Like the federal government should use its power to the full extent to get whoever did this horrendous act. Like, man, could you imagine that? Even two people. Like, and this is what I was writing about here. I think this one. No. Let's see. Oh, this one here, I think. It says, "My hope is that in our deaths there is news and mugshots of the parties involved with the title Neurological Terrorists Discovered in America," and it shows them. Or blank charged with neurological terrorism. I hope that happens. I hope they get charged over there. And that's what I'm saying, it's up to the people to decide that. Which, I mean, how does somebody have a fucking hostage, you know? And it goes back to this thing. And this is what I'm saying with it. It's not like, oh, you know, implanting somebody because they're a jerk, sure. But then, like, you implant somebody, like, decides to have a hostage. Like, how do you just, like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like you have to pay for that in some sense. Like, you can't just implant people and be like, nah, it's not gonna work out. I have my reputation. It's like, man, I have my reputation to uphold. I can't acknowledge this wrong that I've done to you. Sorry, you know. Fuck that. If it's somebody, it's like that's what's happened. That's what happens to celebrities. They're gods one morning, one night, and then the next morning, something comes out or something's like leaked or something, and then they're no longer viewed as gods anymore. You know. Or in the same way. So they're just humans. I mean, they're just people. Oftentimes just people with money. And I think that's a very important way to look at it, that you can't just have anybody as a hostage, especially a neurological implant. Or you can't just do that to people. You can't implant them and be like, oh, I implant nobody. And there may not actually be evidence, but there's something that we can do in the sense of, like, if it's true, then we could try at least. And then I'd go under. I was doing this today. It's so weird. It was like I kept saying this line about saying to whoever done this, or it was like saying I'm an American hostage to an American terrorist organization. I'd say that over and over again, and then I'd get real tired. And then I'd sort of like, can they fuck with me like that? Like it's like you really can't say it until it happens to you. Like until you know the feeling of somebody else shocking you and nobody being around, or like you walk outside and somebody. So you know the strange coincidences that I've talked about here. But you know. So. Yeah. I don't care what the reason was. If it was to save my life or something, I would have rather you'd took the chance and let me, Like I'd never ever in my life ever consider or think that when you're a kid, you don't ever think that you're gonna grow up to be a hostage of an illegal implant, and that either it's true and everyone's hiding this fact, or that it's false and you're just insane. Even that can get you crazy. And there's so much disdain, and I've talked about this. There's so much disdain. Like where my brain becomes the room, and then I throw paint on the walls and spit on the walls, and I act up, because I know that you're watching the room. This is it's an analogy, but I think it's a pretty good one. Um, so here's the hotline. If you have any information, here's the hotline. It really works, this phone number, I think. I haven't checked it. Let me see. I think it works. Let me see. 321 391 4088. See. Yeah, it works. Here, I'll show you what it says. It forces you to leave a voicemail.
Reached Robert, please leave a voicemail.
So. Anyways. You've reached Robert, please leave a voicemail. So that's everything. That's everything pretty much. These people are terrorists, whoever did this. And I'll never get out of that mindset ever. I'll never think of them, and now stuff happens and I'm like, you're fucking terrorists, you people are terrorists, neurological terrorists, fuck you terrorists. Or are you ethically telling me what's all this stuff when you fucking implanted somebody, you're a terrorist? Why am I taking ethical guidance from a terrorist as hostages and won't say? So but yeah, I think that's all. Oh, and then I couldn't find anything on the MRI. I mean, you could sort of see it here, I guess. I don't know if it's on this or. I don't know. There's an image. There's a little white dot that looks like it's like right here or something. But I don't. I think that's just. I think that's just the. I think maybe my hippocampus or something. Somebody suggested to get an X-ray. An X-ray is a good idea. You see the skull. But then you can, if you wanted to, you could go right through the fucking nose. A sedated person go right through the nose and go reach right there. So I don't know how they do it. I've asked them to turn it off and destroy the device that they use to communicate with me so many times, but they don't give in, and they don't. I mean, who would, right? If they're a terrorist, if they're a terrorist and they've done this act already, why would they wouldn't turn it off? I don't know. They'd make sure I was gonna be good and crazy and good and good and gone. So if this is true, and this is all this, I feel very disappointed. I don't know why you would. If my neighbor had a implant and nobody would tell him, I would tell him. Even if I had children, I would tell him. But that's just me. They can't kill all of us. I got jolted. In agreement, I guess. Can't kill all of us. Maybe we should pick a time. And everybody should say who it is. On tonight at 10:10 tonight at 11 p.m. or something. Everybody say who it is, and then the motherfucker won't be able to retaliate against anyone. So fuck whoever implanted me. I can hear Jesus Christ, and I got a jolt on my right here. So I can hear them. Fuck them. Terrorists. So, and that's what I call them now. Whenever they try to talk to me, whenever they try to talk sense, I'm like, man, I'm not taking advice from a fucking terrorist that implanted somebody and has a hostage. No sirree, I'm not taking advice from you. So, that's everything, I think. I have the MRIs on the Twitter or the X, I think. You can see them, or maybe I think it's on here. Maybe it's on here. I don't know. Here. It's pretty clear. I get this thing shows up on the top too. There's like a little I'm not doing a very good job showing you, am I? Very loud. And it's not around the hell you could see that. I'll post a picture of it or something. I'll post it right now. This is January. I'll post it here. I don't think I posted that. So I'll post that here. Okay, so that posted. This little thing here. And it's the thing that's showed up right around here too. I don't know what that is. Like right in the center. So I don't think that's anything, is it? Or that can't be right. That's just normal. Why would that be an implant? Oh, I used to think it was something up here. See, like the vein or something. And I just got jolted on the right and then on the left. So that's what I'm saying. Like I'll talk about it in this way, and then they'll like mess around with me. I don't know if you believe me, but I'm telling the truth. Like it's very direct, and it's not like you. Like I understand the argument of like maybe it's sporadic, and like sometimes when if he talks about the implant all the time, then there's of course going to be times when but it's it's so specific that it's scary how specific it is, like the timing of the jolts and what I'm and the words I'm using, and like I can like have responses with them and stuff. And I don't want to go down that one again. But here, I think let's put more videos in here. There's others here. Here, I'll show you another version of it, the dot. So and then I didn't mention even DC. I didn't mention DC at all. So then when I went to DC, I was hoping that it would lose its charge, I guess, if that's how it works, and or that they would pick me up. That didn't happen, obviously. But I remember coming back here um, and then talking about DC, and then somebody yelled or something over here, and I heard it yell. And as soon as they yelled, it was like I got jolted. I think it was on the leg or something. I was like, oh, that's weird. I have video of this too. So either people really know about this thing or they don't. I just don't know how you keep it a secret, to be honest with you. And that's not I guess it's a judgmental statement, but I don't know. I really don't know how you, yeah. So here's June 30th. This is another CT. What's this on here? Or like you can see it better. On the Vimeo, if you go to the Vimeo with this, there's a video of me going through all of the scans. I definitely don't want people to think I'm doing this for like some attention or something. This is I feel very, this is fucked up if this is true, and it's very serious. This is like I was saying, this is like war crime shit right here. It's like people go on. If this is true, this would be a big case. See that? That's that same thing, I think. That's that same deal here. I think, because it's right in the center there. So then I think that's it. Let me see. What else we got? There's more. This is July 12th, but then this video is too long. I'll do a picture of it or something. An fMRI and an EEG would be a really good idea, because then I could see the jolts. Like, we could see the jolts in real time and see it, like, literally where they're coming from. Like a literal, like an fMRI, like with contrast, and as I told you, and an EEG would be would literally do the job, I think. Or at least an fMRI would, isn't it? But those are expensive. Funny, isn't it? Not funny, but fucked up. Something happened, I don't know. Some things used to not be like this, how they are right now. With all this strangeness. So, I don't know what this is. I guess that's just like a black dot. There's my my eyeball doing that. But, here's my ears. Fucked up ears. So, I don't know if that's anything. It's kind of funny. It looks like I'm staring at this poster. It's a good poster. Who makes these hospitals? Fucking. But yeah. I know my MRN is on here, my medical record number, but you can have that if you want. You can look up anything. But yeah, that's the whole thing, I guess. That's this whole watch. It wasn't even recording or something. But yeah. Alright, so that's that, and then, yeah. What else? Anything else? I think that's it. I don't know if did I read all this here? I remember at the dog job, I'd be arguing with them in my head, like this sort of thing. I don't know what this means by the old arguments, but we'd get hostile and we'd talk about shit, and then I'd be just sweeping or something or doing something else somewhere else and having this dialogue, and then the dog would just, if I would get crazy in my head, they would go crazy or something. Like, they'd get in fucking fights. Like, as soon, like, it would be it would be like it's like that timing thing where they'd be like, "Oh, look out the window right now, Robert." And I'd look out the window, and it would be somebody that looked familiar a long time ago or something. I'd be like, "Oh, that's weird." Like, yeah, you have an implant, or so they'd like say this stuff. Um, so so if this is true, fuck these terrorists. So anyway, can't let them win. We can't. We can't let them win. Um, yeah, here's all the. You can look at this if you want. I will end it here.